What's up, guys? Have you ever wanted to grow your own microgreens? Do you even know what microgreens are? Well, stick around today because that's what we're doing. Roll the intro. Hopefully I had an intro this time for you, but my name is Jesse and this is Healthy Growth. Now today what we're going to be doing is setting up trays for growing microgreens. I'll also show you how I spread my seeds and kind of go through a little bit of just what microgreens are. And that's where we're going to start right now. So microgreens are basically little plants that have not reached the stage of their first true leaf. They are considered a superfood because they are super dense in nutrients. So a true leaf, if you are unaware, is a plant's real leaf style. Inside the seeds, plants already have two leaves inside of it. So as soon as that they sprout, they open up those leaves and they're able to start photosynthesis. They will then, as they continue to produce sugars and grow, they will start sprouting other leaves. When they start sprouting those leaves, those are considered the true leaves. So you do want to harvest before the true leaves. Now, microgreens are super easy to grow. Essentially, you just need your grow media, your seeds, and water, and that is really about it. Now, for myself, I use specific kinds of trays. I have a 12 by 24. Normally, what's used in this business or this type of growth is a 10 by 20 tray. It's up to you what you would like to use. Again, I ordered specifically the 12 by 24s. I wanted a little bit more tray surface area to grow these. I also wanted a little bit heftier tray so that I didn't have to throw these away so often. The 10 by 20s, if you've ever used them, they're really flimsy and do tend to break, whereas the ones that I have, they are really sturdy and are most likely not going to break. I can throw these things around. Next thing you'll need is a grow media. All kinds of things can be used for a grow media. I specifically like to use coconut coir. I've seen people use paper towels. You can use jute. You can use microfibers. There's all kinds of stuff that you can use out there. I even have little cotton pads that are dehydrated and pressed, and as you tend to water them, they swell up a little bit. I don't really like using those because you have to water them a specific kind of way, and those tend to mold a little bit more. When I use the coconut coir, I do happen to use hydrogen peroxide mixed with some water to help prevent any kind of mold growth. Now, it still can happen, so you do have to worry about that. You have to worry about watering them too much. So you do have to monitor that pretty closely. You could set this all up on a timer if you want to. My lights are set up to a timer. As far as the watering, I don't have a basin with a pump. I could set that up and put that on a timer as well to water every 10 minutes, but I don't have that set up. It's up to you however much money you want to spend on this thing, you can definitely get it going that way and have a fully automated system. Pretty much all you have to do is make your trays and seed. So let's go on over and head into the grow room and we'll get started. Let's go. Alright guys, here we are in the grow room. Got my gloves on. Here's my tray, my 12 by 24 that I was talking about. Couple other things that you're gonna need. Some seeds, of course. I made this little container. Well, I didn't make the container, but I put holes in it specifically so that I could sprinkle it. You can use anything else. If your seeds are small enough, you can see I've used a garlic powder container. This is for the really small seeds, but I'm going to be using cabbage. Specifically, the type is going to be golden acre cabbage. Also here, I have a press that I made. So basically, I got a piece of wood and I cut it to the dimensions to fit inside of my tray, my 12 by 24. Now the inside dimensions are 11 by 23, so that's what this board is. And then I just screwed another piece of wood, a piece of scrap wood, to the outside of it to use as a handle. So I'll be using that to compress the coconut coir down so that I have a nice flat surface when I'm sprinkling seeds. I also have a scale right here so that I can measure the seeds and really know how much I'm putting on each tray. That way I can really dial it in, know exactly how much I need, and just have it very consistent. Alright, so I also got my trash can full of coconut coir. Set the lid down. So now you could do this really thin. I've even done it before where I've had a screen down on the bottom. The screens can work pretty nice because they make cleanup really easy, but there's a lot more work involved with it. Now I used to have a precise measurement that I used to do, but I don't remember what it was. It's been a while since I've done my microgreen growing. So now I'm just trying to get a nice even layer. Alright, once you think you've got it nice and even, you're going to take your press. So I'm going to stand up because I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on this. So again, I'm just compressing it to a nice flat form. There we have it. So again, the purpose of this is so that when I sprinkle the seeds, that I don't have them falling everywhere. So with a flat surface, you can expect them to pretty much stay where they land. So next step, I take my little container here, turn on my scale. So I'm gonna zero out the scale with the container on it. And then I'm gonna scoop up the seeds. Now you don't want to have too many seeds on here. Typically what I like to do, I believe I used to do about ½ ounce. But for today, since I haven't grown these for a while, I think I'm going to go down to, or I'm just going to do a full ounce. Alright. Come on. Okay, it says I'm at 1 ounce. Now before I sprinkle my seeds, what I like to do is spray it down. Now what I'm going to spray it down with is going to be the hydrogen peroxide. So I've got my little spray container. You can pick these up at any hardware store. Now I have 2 of these. You can see I do label mine so I know exactly what's in it. This is the hydrogen peroxide. Definitely smells like hydrogen peroxide. But I'm spraying down the coconut coir so that I can help prevent any kind of molding. Alright, so now that I've got the coconut coir a little soaked, I may actually want to add some more water. So another one here. This one is just plain H2O. And again, the last one I sprayed was water and hydrogen peroxide. So just a diluted version of the hydrogen peroxide. But I'm going to be coming back to that in a moment. I've got my seeds. So now I'm just going to try to distribute these evenly. And so the purpose of making a shaker is to shake it out. By wetting the coconut coir, it also helps these to stick. Having a flat surface helps prevent it from rolling around too much. have it. We have our seeds all spread out. Up next is, again, watering them. Now you can use any kind of spray bottle that you want if you don't have one of these type of sprayers. I really like this kind because it's very gentle. If you have one that squirts out in a stream, what you'll notice is that the seeds tend to become dislodged from where they were, and they kind of just roll around to wherever they get sprayed to. This one, you'll still see a little bit of movement on the seeds, but it's not going to be anywhere near as if you had a little bit of power behind it. So super gentle, really helps. Even distribution of the coconut coir is going to help. Again, any areas that are lower than the rest, you're going to see a lot of seeds settling. So it looks like there was a little bit of a divot here, and you can really see where the seeds have piled up into those. And it's going to be okay. This is going to be for home growth. I'm going to eat these at home as well. I'm not trying to sell these. This is just going to be for me and my wife and little Rita, if she decides she'll eat it. All right. So now the seeds are good and watered. We're just about done. Now another thing that I have that I hadn't talked about yet is a little bit of insulation foam. So that it is coated with plastic on one side and foil on the other, and it's just styrofoam. Now I also like to put this down onto the seeds. I'm trying to remember. I think I used to spread a little bit of soil on top of these too. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to lightly sprinkle some soil, some coconut coir over them. You don't want to put too much on the top, because it makes it harder for them to grow through. Trying to gently spread it out so I'm not knocking the seeds around too much. Now I've done it both ways, where I have spread some coconut coir over the top and I've just left them open as well. The only problem with leaving them open is that if you're using one of these plastic sheets or anything to cover them up, then they tend to get stuck to it. Now, why use some kind of plastic on these? Well, it's the same concept as if you're using a dome on a seating tray. It just really helps to keep the moisture in the area. So basically keeps up the humidity levels, which in turn keeps them moist. So to germinate, seeds need some water. So I usually place plastic side down. And then if you want to, you can give it a little press as well. Now, when I put this tray into my germination closet, so I have a closet in this room, and I specifically just keep my trays in there and also where I germinate. Now I germinate in there because it's dark. You know, when seeds are growing in the ground, it's deep, dark underground. There's moisture, typically is why they're starting to sprout. So I leave a little bit of weight on the top of these to simulate that they are underground, that there's pressure on top of them. What does that do for the plants? Well, it causes them to grow harder and stronger. So now instead of, you know, getting to sprout and just being weak there, they actually have to try to force together and lift this up, and they actually will. It's pretty interesting to see. And so while even if I had all of these stacked, if I had 10 trays going at a time for germination, and I had these layers of the styrofoam in there, and then on the very top I have this one, through all of those, each one is going to try to lift the trays above it, so they're going to get stronger and stronger. Now I'm going to leave these in the dark for about 3 to 4 days, and by the time that they are ready at the 3 to 4 day mark, when I put them in the light, they're already going to be pretty strong. They're going to be a little deprived of light, but that will be okay, because as soon as I put them in the light, they're just going to eat it up. So I'm going to move this over into my germination closet, close the doors, and that is about it. It's super easy. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below. If you'd like to see something specific on how I do things, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. If you could, share my videos with your friends and family as well. It really helps me out. But as far as today, we are finished. So grow healthy, my friends.
Perfect.